Hello, today is Friday. It is October 13th. It is not at the end of the day. It's about 12:51 on Friday. Friday the 13th. Nothing crazy so far. Thank goodness. What a week. It feels like a week that is enough price action for about a month. Again, that's nothing new this year, but it's very interesting. So if you recall, Monday, it felt like we had more of an actual answer as to who the president was going to be, but really a big reason we took off was because Pfizer basically said 90% effectiveness on treating its patients that have COVID. That's a very good thing. The market took off, and as you can see, the areas that have done best are more the value areas, which is the Russell 2000. I mean, that's a really nice week for the Russell 2000. We've talked about that for a potential rotation. It surprised me it happened that quickly, that we got this rotation. So Monday alone, that the Russell 2000 was up 7% at one point. So I actually took some gains into that. I'm still bullish midterm. I'm a little cautious short term. I think we're a little hot considering and given the fact that COVID cases are a little concerning with what I'm seeing in the Eurozone, and it's not looking great in the United States. Again, none of this is a fear. This is simply what the market will respond to. And so again, take your opinions out. These are not my opinions. I just know the market will respond to these things. Okay, so it has nothing to do with my opinion. The market will respond to generally increase case counts. So right now we have a battle between FOMO, fear of missing out, going up, 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 up. And it's a great environment for it to go up, but there's some pretty overextended measures in my opinion. I think we could go a little bit higher short term, but I'm not in love with the risk reward here. I probably, in hindsight, I wish I had a little bit more on. Right now I have about 0% invested, 50% invested. Price action this week has been very interesting, and we'll show this to you. So this is the week S&P 500. Again, this is really our benchmark, and we're lagging this week because we have more. If you notice, the NASDAQ, the growth areas that have been done very, very well, took a breather. So we're getting a rotation from growth to value. I'm not sure how long that lasts. That's kind of what I'm gauging right now. I think everybody's assuming that the Russell 2000 is just going to explode. And I honestly think it will do very, very well once COVID calms down. But I still think growth will do completely fine as well. We'll see. I'll judge that based on price action, but I'm not giving up on growth. But that is why I'm lagging this week and only 50% invested. So look at these gaps. That means price action that happens overnight. It does not mean that these gaps need to be tested, but we've had quite a few gaps. And usually these gaps like to be tested. It's not a rule that they have to be tested, but it does concern me that we went up about 10% in a matter of 2 weeks. So just be cautious. That's where I'm a little bit hesitant. But look how high we got. I mean, new all-time high. Very strong Monday on the news. Backed off, which did not surprise. I took gains into this. Went from basically 70 to 50%, and now we're going sideways. This is not bad price action. We closed this gap at least. That was good. I'm not sure if we have a ton. I'm not sure how much more downside we have, but the longer I think the longer we tread sideways here, the more people are going to feel comfortable with this. My biggest concern has never been the election. I'll be honest with you. The market does well under both a Democrat and a Republican. In fact, under a Democrat president, which I've been saying for months, under a Democrat president and split Congress, the market has actually, I believe, performed at its strongest. And I believe that average has been over 17% a year. So if you're thinking, let's say you're a Republican and concerned about what this could mean for the market, don't bring your politics into investments. It does not work that way. The earlier you understand that, the better you will be as an investor. That's the 900th time I've said that, but I still see people saying the same thing, and I keep getting the same calls, which is fine. But don't be concerned about the political side. Really, the COVID thing is what's really preventing us from really going too much higher, in my opinion. If we get good signs of condensing and reducing COVID, I think this thing is going to really take off. A lot of the beaten down names will probably take off then. But I still think growth is going to do well as well. So we'll see what happens. But there's the S&P 500. In short, we're going sideways after a huge run up Monday. We're going sideways. This is not bad price action whatsoever. We're kind of going sideways. That's it. Next chart. Just to kind of show you one strategy that many people watch is the 8-day and 21-day moving average just got back to the positive side. This is a warning sign. When it crosses, we're back to the positive. So that's a good thing. Just kind of updating you with there. We got to be real about that. Just kind of showing you perspective. Down 14%, up about 10 some, down 10 some, back up, and we're kind of consolidating sideways here. This is not bad price action. I actually like where this is, from an RSI standpoint, better than some of the other indexes. This is not overbought, and this is not reacting poorly, in my opinion. COVID news, sure, value is going to outperform. I need to probably add some there shortly, but I still think it's a little bit hot. And I'll actually skip to that to kind of show you. So IWM, which is the Russell 2000, this is kind of the line we've been watching. Hey, can this break out? Failed several times, finally broke out. Maybe we retest that. Maybe that's not a bad thing. IWM, though, if I'm showing you from an overbought standpoint, it was overbought. Look, every time we get an RSI at 70, we back off. Now, that does not mean we don't go higher here. If we keep getting good news on COVID, it could push us higher. So just want to be real about that. Let's keep going through some of the charts, some of the concerns that I see, and why I'm actually being cautious here are this is a big one for me. When I see this high of a percentage invested, this concerns me. So 96% of portfolio of the active manager's portfolio is invested. That's running pretty hot. And when we get to right around this level, it's not. So I'm basically saying I don't love the risk reward here. I think we very well could go higher, but with that, the market is a game of probabilities, and that's why I have 50% invested. So hopefully you can kind of understand that. One positive that I like to see is this is an indicator that I watch and has worked quite a few times, where if this goes below 0, it usually leads to bigger declines, as you can see. If this holds, which it has, this can lead to very good things. Now, we're kind of choppy here. Could it look something like it did in 2018? Maybe. It kind of does look like that. It means nothing for the future. But it is kind of interesting that, and don't be surprised if maybe we go down a little bit, but I'm not sure how many of those gaps meaning these gaps that I showed you earlier, I'm not sure how many of these gaps we're going to test. It does not mean that all these gaps need to be tested. I wouldn't mind if this one does, but if it does, I'll probably add here, to be honest with you. So not hating what I see. The price action is very good, actually. And another very positive is the VIX, the fear index. Again, kind of the hockey stick. Another hockey stick. Boom, got up to 40. This was 2 weeks ago, guys. That is a huge move, and then downfall. Would it surprise you to test the 50-day moving average at some point again? We got up to near 30, I believe. Well, 27-ish yesterday on a downfall, but would not surprise me to see a little testing to digest some of the move that we've had. This is a fantastic week. The last 2 weeks, it's very fast. I would basically say this. Don't get too bearish if we test some of those gaps, okay? I want to see things improve in COVID. We have 50% invested. So again, in short, throw politics out of it. They don't really matter. Really, I believe that the whole political mess was just something to the market to work through. So when the market went down into it, it basically was saying, it doesn't matter who the president is. I think that's an uncertainty, an unknown that the market was just good to have out of the way. And from there, the market has done well. Okay, so that's a reoccurring theme. It happened very similar to that in 2016. Would it be surprising to see a little sideways action here? That's kind of what we're getting. Okay, so again, it's not the end of the trading day. A lot of things could change quickly. We're moving big swings every day. So overall, price action is not bad. And if it does go down 2 to 3%, I'm not really too concerned about that. I try to protect capital, but I believe that gives me more of an opportunity. I do not believe the stay-at-home stocks are dead, despite what the news is saying. I think that people will be surprised how well those can even do when the catch-up trade officially does take off. And I think it will take off, but I think we have a little bit of time before the rebound stocks need a little time, in my opinion. They're running a little bit hot. So overall, I would like to see, again, the market doesn't care what I think, but I would like to see some digestion of some of these gains, which is done for 2 to 3 days, which is great. We might have to get a little more bullish here, depending on if we hold. If we go a little bit higher, I might have to buy here. So overall, price action is setting up quite well for a very good mid and long-term rally. It would not surprise me to have a huge year next year. We'll see. I'll judge it based on price action, but thank you for your trust. It's been a nuts year, and we haven't done anything perfect by any means, but we're hanging in there. Thanks, you guys. Have a great weekend. Bye.